Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Mamapreneur Podcast, hosted by, hold on, wait a minute. Get ready for the sound effects tonight. It's just going to be a great time. I am your amazing, fabulous hostess with the mostest, Robbin. I am so glad that you decided to tune in tonight or watch the replay for episode 66. All right. So welcome. The Mamapreneur Podcast is for anyone that is in the entrepreneurship game, whether you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, you're a baby entrepreneur just getting in there, or you kind of been in for a minute, you're a veteran entrepreneur. And it is just for anyone in any season of entrepreneurship. And I am just grateful to be able to come and be with you every second and fourth Thursday evening to grace you with my presence, because I know y'all just love me so much. And then I get to spotlight amazing female business owners from all over the country, all over the world. Today is Dallas night, okay? So all of my ladies today are from the DFW area. Before I get to my amazing ladies, audience, I put you to work every show. So we're going to do it again tonight. So first things first, you're watching us live right now from YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Make sure that you share tonight's live broadcast because I am doing a drawing at the end of the show, but you must share and hashtag Mamapreneur in the comments for me. Okay. All right. So that's first order of business. Like this, a meeting. First order of business, share the live. I always say that because you just never know who out of anybody tonight, they may bless that person with whatever advice that's given tonight, whatever, the topic could be. Or they can just love me and only because you shared. You're welcome. All right. So first things first, share the live. Also, I love to know where our audience members are tuning in from. So type in the chat where you're tuning in from. Again, this show, what started out over 3 years ago as a Dallas-Fort Worth show, now is played and seen all over the U.S. and all over the world. I said it a while back, and again, I'm really big people that have tuned in, and you're international. So let us know in the chat where you're tuning in from. All right. Also, this is a very interactive podcast. So if it is something that you would like to ask one of the guests or ask me, type that in the chat so we can answer that question for you live on air. If somebody that is speaking tonight is your family member and you want to support them, friend, type that in the chat. If you're agreeing with something that we're talking about tonight, type that in the chat. Again, we're interactive, so we want you to engage tonight. Engage. Okay. All righty. And lastly, if you are an entrepreneur in the audience, we're going to network within the chat. So that's YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. Put your business link in the chat. Let's network in the chat. Okay. I always say it every show. This show wouldn't be here if I didn't go to a networking event. I say it now on a lot of my advertisements. If you see it in post, true connections happen when you're in the room. And I stand firmly by that. So put your business info in the chat for me. Before I go into the rest of my spiel, I always like to give shout out to Kesh, CEO of POWERTEAM, 66 episodes in, man. Thank you so much for what you do and just being my right-hand gal. Thank you, sis. She is giving you producer. She's giving you sound effects. So don't be surprised if you hear them all throughout the show. All right. Tonight's show is being sponsored by my good friend Jennifer Quinn's blog, My Life, Your Inspiration, which is a blog and mentoring platform for faith-driven wellness, and lifestyle. So she's giving spiritual advice, she's giving wholeness, wellness tips, and practical lifestyle suggestions. Again, My Life, Your Inspiration blog. Subscribe today for her email list so you can get those weekly blogs that she comes out with, okay? Shouts out to Jennifer Quinn. She is my girl. All righty. Few announcements, guys, before I get to my first guest. Make sure that you subscribe to the Mamapreneur Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe. So if you are tuning in right now from YouTube, subscribe. When the show is over, those of you that are not watching on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to the Mamapreneur Podcast YouTube channel, where we do all things Mamapreneur. Again, this show is streaming live from there, and I also put other content there. So make sure that you tune in, tap in. All right. All righty. Now booking for guests for the remainder of 2024. So if you are a female business owner, does not matter where you are in the country, in the world, and you are serious about getting your brand out there, you're serious about investing in yourself as an entrepreneur and in your brand, please get with me offline at Mamapreneur Podcast. That's Facebook and IG. Shoot me a DM and I can provide you more information on how to be a guest on the Mamapreneur Podcast. All right. So booking through August through the end of the year. Spots do fill up fast. All right. All righty. Next, on May 1st, which is next week, I am hosting another Mamapreneur podcasting webinar where I'm showing people how to start their podcast, grow, brand, and monetize their brands and their podcasting. The podcasts are a great way to just give you more exposure for your existing brand. So link will be posted shortly on how you can register. I always give free gifts just for you registering and showing up to the podcasting webinar. So I've seen podcasts start from my webinar, and I love it. I love to see my people where it was a thought to it actually being an actual show, so on and so forth. So May 1st at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Register today. All right. And last announcement before I go into my rest of my spiel is if you are a lady in the DFW area and you like to network, I am having a networking event May 4th in the Dallas area. It's called the Mamapreneur Wine Down Mixer, where we're going to be at this really nice wine bar in the DFW area. You're going to come and meet ladies from all over the DFW, and you're going to connect and network. That's what this platform has always been about: networking, collaboration, connection. So again, true connection happens when you're in the room. So that Eventbrite link will be posted shortly, and I'll also make sure it's posted in the chat after. Few spots left, so make sure that you register. Or shades of neon. So we're going to brighten that place up. Whatever neon you can possibly think, that is what we'll be in. So come in your neon, but you got to register to get added to the list. All right. See you all on May 4th in your neon. All right. All right. So quick little discussion topic before I get to my amazing first guest. As you all know, I'm really big on collaboration. But when we collaborate, we got to make sure we're doing these 3 key things when we're collaborating with people. All right. Number 1, when you're collaborating with fellow business owners for whatever that assignment is, event, etc., appearance, whatever, make sure there is clear communication. What is everyone's roles? If there's a contract that needs to happen, contract it up, but clear communication with everything that is laid out so no one is in the dark. All right. Again, that's a speaking engagement. that's a conference, whatever, make sure there's some type of paperwork done when you're collaborating with other entrepreneurs, because you never know, things happen. So I want to school y'all tonight. I've seen it happen with folks and people be falling out. And you don't want all that, because if it's on paper, it's clear and concise. All right. So clear communication. All right. Next, mutual benefit. Collaboration should be mutually beneficial for both parties involved. All right. So again, that's everybody putting in their expertise, connections, etc. You all have one common goal, and that is to complete that task, complete that event, complete that speaking engagement, complete that podcast appearance, whatever. But what is mutually beneficial for all parties involved. Okay, teamwork. And last but not least, be a man or woman of your word. So if you guys are collaborating together, please make sure if you say you're going to do something, please do it. Nobody likes a fickle person, a fickle partner. So if you're going to collaborate with other entrepreneurs and you guys got a date, location, time, vendors, all the things, all the shebang-a-bang, please make sure that whatever you said that you're going to bring to the table, whatever that is on that contract, whatever is written down, smoke signals, Morse code, whatever you said you're going to do, please make sure that you do it and be a man or woman of your word. Entrepreneurs, especially locally, people talk. And that's the last thing you want anybody to say about you. Man, she not a person of her word. I don't think you should work with her. So 3 key tips. Clear communication when it comes to collaborating with other business owners. Mutually beneficial to both parties. What can you guys do to mutually benefit from this particular collaboration? And being a man and woman of your word. All right. That's it. Little tidbit tonight for the Mamapreneur Podcast. Hope you guys learn a little something about that. Because again, entrepreneurship is all about relationships. All right. Cool. Make sure you guys are sharing the live, because there will be giveaways at the end of the show. So hashtag Mamapreneur in the chat. That's Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. All right. So my first guest, the amazing Misha Miller, Mortgages by Misha. She's a coach. She's a realtor. She's a mortgage loan originator based here in the DFW area. And she is out here doing amazing things. So I would like to introduce to you guys the amazing Misha Miller. Woo!
Hey, thank you for having me.
Hey, girl.
How you doing?
I am great. I'm so glad I felt like I just booked you. And then lo and behold, here you go. But I'm glad to have you here today.
Glad to be here.
So tell everyone about you, about yourself. I knew, get ready for the applause, girl. Tell everyone about you and your amazing brand. Go.
Yeah, so I am Misha Miller. I am a realtor, mortgage loan originator, and as Robbin mentioned, I am also a coach and consultant. And what I do in that regard is help individuals in businesses, small and mid-size, empower individuals and businesses, small to mid-size, to push past fear and uncertainty and make data-driven decisions. So whether you're looking to purchase your first home and don't know what you don't know, or you're looking to grow your nonprofit and want to measure impact, that is what I am doing.
Awesome. So do you specialize in the residential space, or do you commercial, or both?
So on the real estate side, primarily residential, some commercial leasing as well. And on the lending or mortgage origination side, I do both residential and commercial. So I can typically help you with pretty much anything. And if I can't, I have a teammate that can.
Amazing. What I was telling another friend of mine who's in the mortgage industry, I say you guys are a lot like counselors because
Mhm.
you're guiding that potential buyer in different directions. And if they, make a certain decision, you're like, you may want to revisit that. Or if credit is not in the best space, you're navigating them another way. Um, what are some other tips that you kind of navigate your clients, especially within this particular industry?
So I think I approach all my work in the same way, right? It's really where are you and what do you need to know to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. So my goal is to help you reach your dream, whether it's right now or whether that's going to be delayed a few months because you need to work on your credit. So really it's just giving them the information they need so that they can know the things that maybe they didn't know before we entered the conversation. So it's looking at your monthly obligations and debt and seeing if it makes sense for you to purchase a home right now, or setting some expectations around budget, because sometimes we shop with HGTV eyes, and you know I know I do.
I'm gonna use that HGTV eyes because you're
Mhm.
seeing it on HGTV and you're not quite there yet, kind of deal. You can watch My Lottery Dream Home, and you're like, told you, get ready for the. I get it. I love it.
We don't
Um,
want to skip the starter home. Sometimes we got to start first, and then we can
yes,
hit the
yes.
HGTV.
Talk about um, the current market right now with
Mhm.
homes. It's different.
It is.
That's
So
lack of a better term. Go ahead.
it's good and bad, right? So in 2021 and 2020, you had a lot of competition. There was low interest rates, a lot of buyers. People were offering 20, 30, $50,000 over the list price. It was a highly competitive market. So depending on how you look at things, you could look at it in a way, this is a good market if you're trying to get in when there is low competition. When the rates are higher, competition is lower, and you can typically get some things from the sellers in a market like we're in right now, especially here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Girl. Kesha says, is it better to buy or to rent right now?
So that's an individual answer, and I do have a spreadsheet because I can help people with the data they need to make that decision as well. So a lot of things would be considered. If you have a roommate or you're staying at home, it may be cheaper to rent or stay where you are. But if you're paying $2,700 in rent and parking fee and a garage fee and all these other things, it may be cheaper for you to purchase right now. So it's really an
Mm.
individual decision, and I think we need to make sure we're analyzing the data to drive that decision.
Talk to the person who's discouraged right now about buying
Um, I kind of hinted to that earlier, right?
with,
So,
with the interest rates. And I
right,
mean in regards to the interest rate. Go ahead.
in regards to the interest rates.
Yeah.
So, if you look at the historical interest rates aren't high in comparison to maybe say 15, 20 years ago. However, we know that the home prices are much higher than they were 10 or 15 years ago. I would just say you really don't have time to spend much energy on being discouraged, because when you do that, then you can't set realistic goals for yourself to reach, right? So there's typically a plan to get you where you want to go. It's just a matter if it's going to be a few months, it may be a couple of years. But then there are also other strategies that you can use to get in the market now. So again, that would be an individual response based on why this person is discouraged. But I would say
Mm.
it's not a time to be discouraged. It's the time to be creative. There are a lot of
Now,
other
that's a
creative
word. Stop.
ways.
Stop. That was a word. Say that again for the people in the back. What was that?
It's not time to be discouraged. It's time to be creative.
Go ahead. Carry on.
Yeah,
I just
that's my advice.
and now, even though the rates are what they are, there's tons of programs out there that, like you just said, can help people get into a home. Kind of
Mhm.
talk about that. What are some programs that are out there right now that can
Yeah.
potentially help someone right now, and kind of some requirements potentially?
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So there are some grants which are good. Grants are typically forgivable, and sometimes they do also come with strings attached, right? So some grants might say if we give you this $15,000 to go towards your down payment and closing costs, you must stay in the home for 10 years. If you're getting any more than that, you may have to stay for, another 10. And then you have some down payment assistance programs, and those usually come with higher interest rates. So if we're already in a higher interest rate market, expect for the portion that you receive towards your down payment as a second, that is going to come with an even higher interest rate, which may kick your debt to income ratio too high. And really what that is all of your monthly obligations compared to your monthly income. And that is what banks use to decide whether or not you are a good risk and whether or not you can afford to pay your proposed mortgage. So I almost went off on a tangent.
That's fine. It's fine. I wasn't gonna stop you. I was like, go ahead, carry on.
Yeah. No, so on the down payment assistance, there's pros and cons. Again, I don't want to keep saying it's a one by one situation, but really it is. Like everything when you're talking about the biggest financial decision of your life is very individual. And I always caution people not to look at down payment assistance as a give me, because usually, you know how it is strings attached. So it comes at a cost. Now that cost might be worth it, right? If you were going to lose $10,000, $20,000 by continuing to rent, then it might be worth, paying that higher interest rate and refinance down the line. Otherwise, there's other creative avenues to come up with your down payment. For instance, with FHA, you can receive gift funds for your closing costs and down payment. So if you have wonderful parents or, siblings that want to help you out, we've seen deals get done where 100% of the down payment closing costs have come from relatives.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Girl.
Now my relatives they didn't do that for me, but
yeah,
I've seen it done. Yeah.
Now from the different types of loans that you can get to get into a home, if it's, if you do a conventional, FHA, whatever, what are some of those requirements for the person who is considering buying a home? What are some of those requirements that they would need to have to even qualify? So like for a conventional VA, whatever.
Yeah. So for VA, that's pretty easy. You would have had to be,
Right.
Active duty or veteran. And for convention, so I'm a wholesale mortgage loan originator. And what that means is like we're the insurance of mortgage, right? So we have some lenders that will lend at 550. We have some that will lend at 580, and some will require 620 or 640 credit score. Typically, we can get a deal done with a 580 credit score. But again, that would depend on what is on that credit report, right? So there are certain things that are just going to be a hindrance from getting the loan done, and that's late pays, late mortgage pays, things like that. Typically, late pays can kill a deal pretty quickly.
Wow.
And I think somebody asked about credit scores. Your credit score matters now, or if it's different. So yes, your current credit score is what matters. So what we do is we pull a tri-merge report and take the mid score. So knowing what your credit is important. Keeping in mind as well, when you run Credit Karma or some of your credit score monitoring programs that you get through the bank, your score might look different when we pull it for mortgage, because different things are going to be considered and different VantageScore scores are going to be used. So just word of caution, I've seen it be off, 20 or 40 points sometimes. Then people are shocked that they may not have that 720. They may have 7.
They thought they had, in this regard.
Yes.
She says, I'm hearing that they are considering your last 6 months history.
So when you talk about like history, is typically those late pays, right? So if you had a late pay within a 12-month period, that's typically a no. Yes, I've seen that happen.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So there's tons of people that are in the real estate industry. Tell everybody why they should work with you, because I know you're amazing. I want you to tell them why. Tell them from you why they should work with you?
Absolutely. So I think my value proposition is really that I, one, want to get to know everybody that I'm working with. I want to understand what it is that you want and how I can help you get there. I'm big on data, and that data is not just a business term or things that companies and organizations use. I think that I empower my buyers with the data and information that they need. And when you turn in your application to me, I'm not just going to go away, process the application. I'm going to make sure you understand what DTI is. I'm going to make sure that you understand how much you're going to pay over the life of the loan. There's a lot of pieces that are moving on the back end that sometimes buyers are not aware of. And I'm really big on education. And then making things accessible, right? Like no question is a dumb question. You can ask me any question. I'm reachable. I typically ask individuals that I work with right away if they prefer text or phone or email communication. I'm open to whatever my client prefers. So there are a lot of great realtors. There are a lot of great mortgage loan originators. We often have the same programs. However, I think it's about, who you feel comfortable with, who you know is going to have your best interests at heart, and who is going to be equally invested in getting you to the closing table. And that is what that's what I do this for, is to get people where they're trying to go, help you realize your dreams.
I love it. I love it. Tell everyone how you can be reached if they want to get in touch with you, have a quick call, consultations, even for the, for the consulting piece, all the things.
So I will share my link tree, but I am on all the platforms at Mortgages by Misha. And my website is, I'll drop that in the chat too, but it is www.aplacetodream.com and a place, the number 2 dream.com.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Misha, for blessing us with your presence, for giving us some knowledge and some little gems, especially for those that are in the audience today who are considering home ownership, may not know where to start, or may be stuck. And that's why I ask particular questions, because somebody's in the audience right now like, man, I want to buy a house. I don't know where to start. Or I want to buy a house. What do I need to work on?
Let's talk about it.
Yes. So reach out to Mortgages by Misha. She's amazing. Thank you so much, sis. And I'll be in touch. We'll be connecting soon. Thank you so much.
You too.
Y'all give Misha some hand claps in the chat. You did that. You did that. So, as we bring my other 2 ladies up, I got a question for the audience, and I want you guys to post in the chat. What is your relationship with like with money? What is your relationship like with money? And that's in any area of money, with debt, with savings, annuities, life insurance, all the things. What is your relationship like right now with money? And while you guys put that in the chat, we're going to bring up the next 2 ladies. This segment is called the Get Your Money Up segment, with my 2 money ladies that are about all things debt-free, wealth, all the fun. So I got my 2 beautiful ladies. And as you guys haven't peeped the theme tonight, it is green. Green, green, green. All right. Happy Financial Literacy Month. I'm loving seeing all the posts everywhere about financial literacy. And, it's been great. So I purposely knew that this was that month. And so purposely brought 2 amazing ladies, talented within their own rights, out here doing great things, impacting lives. My first guest I'm going to bring to the carpet is the amazing Gwen Bruno. Gwen is Christian life coach, Ramsey financial coach, and inspirational speaker. She is all about helping professional Christian women win mentally and financially through clinically proven resources and God-centered feedback. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, Miss Gwen out here doing great things. Hello.
Hi, Robbin.
How are you?
I am doing great. I'm so excited about tonight. So glad to be here.
Glad that you're here, and she's blessing us. That smile lights up the room, honey. And so she is here brightening up our evenings with that beautiful smile. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank
Gwen,
you,
tell
Robbin.
everyone about you. Yes, I've talked a little bit about, you gave your intro, but I want you to tell everybody how amazing you are. Go.
Well, I can't say that I'm amazingly blessed. How's that?
That part. Yes.
Yes, yes. And I do like to take my blessings and share with others. And that's probably the foundation of becoming this Christian life coach and Ramsey financial coach. When it comes to the life coaching piece, I just love coming alongside women, helping them to navigate life, set goals. And if they're feeling stuck and not getting to where they want to be, we figure out what it is that's holding them back, what it is what's there in the mindset, what lies have been believed that's holding them back, and we will unpack that to the point where we replace lies with the truth, and then we're able to move forward and start helping you get to the point where you want to be. Also understanding that we have been given this life, and this life is truly a gift, and we
Yes.
need to treat our lives as such. So I take a vested interest in my clients. I know they can do it. I look for that talent and the gift in them, and I just cheer them on. And then when it comes to the financial coaching, actually, I started the life coaching piece first. But when I started meeting with my clients, I realized that they had debt, and then they didn't necessarily have a plan for it. So I partner with the Ramsey organization out of Nashville, and adapted the Ramsey plan to address the debt, which is the 7 steps to becoming debt free.
Yes, honey. Snowball effect. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
it works. It works.
It does work. Yes, snowball.
Yes.
I'm actually redoing it again. My church is actually going through financial peace as we speak. And so we just started on Sunday. So I'm going through it again because I'm wanting to save for future stuff. My son will be a high schooler this year. So
Yes.
I'm going to think of college and all of those things. People get into financial peace for various reasons. So that's
Right.
mine. Yes.
Yes, there are FPU classes, they're called, and a lot of times they're held at churches or other venues. And then some people feel like they need, in addition, a step beyond the classroom setting.
Agreed.
And then that's when they will hire a coach to come alongside, and we work one-on-one. And when it comes to the financial coaching, I work with men, women, couples, love working with couples and help them, bring order and financial freedom to their household.
I bet you that's an interesting conversation.
It is very interesting.
Because you have one that's the spender, one that's the saver, trying to bring that together. I can only imagine. We're not going to go there, but I can only imagine.
Let me just say, too, you have one who wants to be there and one who does not want to be there. And I get to play the mediator.
Yes. So you have many jobs within that
Yes.
within that one arena versus, just being the financial coach.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's a very good point, too, Robbin, because being a financial coach is not just about the mechanics. And when I work with my clients, it's not just about the mechanics. Yes, we need the tools. We need the spreadsheet for the budget, or the app, whatever we decide to use. But a lot of it is behavior.
Yeah.
Right? It's behavior driven. So 20% is actually tools, creating the budget, the mechanics of it. But 80% of it is getting into the mindset. So a lot of the life coaching will flow into the financial coaching.
I believe it.
You have to sort all that out, get you on track, and help you understand that you are worth this. You are worth this journey. So stick with it and don't give up on yourself, but show up for your own life. And there's so much more that's waiting for you, but you got to first take that step and show up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with the life coach piece, I know your target audience is Christian women, professional Christian women. Now, do you do it on a one-on-one basis, a group, both? How does that normally work? So if someone is listening right now, is considering getting life coaching and they see you right now, kind of get an idea.
Yes. So typically I work one-on-one, but if I have someone who comes to me and they want to pull together a small group, I will do a group setting, especially with an assessment that I do offer to help us understand what the mindset and what the thought patterns are. I have an assessment that I offer my clients for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have them take the assessment and we would discuss that in a small group setting.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. So that is a possibility. And I also bring it in form of a workshop. So there could be a life coaching workshop. If you have an organization where you want that content presented, I could deliver that in workshop form for the life coaching as well as for the financial coaching.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you, Gwen. I'll be talking back to you in a minute.
All right.
All righty. Next victim is Terry, the amazing Terry Alford. I had to make her laugh. I love Terry. So Terry's a little firecracker like myself. So Terry Alford.
Not a victim.
Wealth strategist, honey. Founder of TNA Financial Group, honey. TNA Financial Group is an independent risk management firm comprised of experienced insurance professionals dedicated to helping you achieve your goals. Terry has such a passion for helping people focus on building, growing, and protecting multi-million-dollar legacies. I need everybody in the back. Give Terry all the claps in the chat. Go, Terry.
Hi.
Oh, Lord, I love you, Terry. That girl crazy. Okay. Yay, Terry. Terry, tell everyone about how amazing you are. I know we got Gwen, amazingly blessed. That is our hashtag tonight. And then we're going to go over to amazing Terry. Go.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. The hashtag for me can be attract abundance because that is the season that I am in. And you asked the question earlier about how do we feel about money? Well, when I think about money, I think about the fact that I attract money and money likes to come to me. So I am known as the Women's Wealth Strategist, and I specialize in helping business women build six-figure retirement streams instead of six-figure retirement dreams. And if you truly believe that can be your reality, if you believe that can be your reality, then guess what? The next thing that you are to do is to attract abundance. And then once you get that abundance, let's talk. I can show you some things that you can do.
Okay. Let them know, Terry. Let them know. Terry.
Yeah.
Talk about the other piece of what you do with life insurance and the $1 million policies and all the things. Go.
Well, where do I begin? So I guess I'll start here. So it's important that you understand my journey. I do have a master's in education. I am a forever educator, and I love teaching people how to get the life out of life insurance, and how to use it while you're living. And so, yes, I am a life insurance broker. I do work with over 12 different companies to serve my clients with the best products for them. I also can help my clients with their retirement planning needs. However, one of the most famous things that I love to share is the $1 million baby plan. So if you have a baby, know somebody with a baby, about to have a baby, or you want to have some babies, I want to show you the $1 million baby plan, because this $1 million baby plan is a game changer. We talk about generational wealth building in our community, but we don't do enough to build generational wealth. And so as an educator, as a former principal, as an economic empowerment person, I promise you, for me, it's all about the education first. And what we have to understand is that if we are going to create a multi-million-dollar legacy, we have to be sure that our children and our children's children have an inheritance. And not only do they have an inheritance, but we want to give them a jump start in life. So I love teaching parents about alternatives to saving for college for their children and helping them their children be able to have access to more cash when they start adulthood. Misha did an incredible job speaking about ways that we can be better prepared for the home buying process. And then we had Gwen, who spoke about being able to eliminate debts. But here's the thing, we don't even have to get into debt if we learn to become our own bank. And if we become the bank and we teach our children how to become the bank, then we don't have to worry about going into debt with all of these high interest rates. So I do a lot of teaching, a lot of educating. In short, I am an insurance broker. I am a financial consultant. I'm also a business coach as well. And I love to teach. First, I got to teach it to you. Then you have the opportunity to make the decisions. But I love teaching people the ins and the outs of the financial products, the financial jargon, looking at the numbers, because sometimes people are overwhelmed by just looking at the numbers and they're like, I'll look at it later. I'll focus on retirement later. But if you want to have enough money to be able to retire wealthy, you need to start now, as in yesterday, as in right now, as in tomorrow may be too late, and you won't be able to live the life that you dreamed about because you waited too late.
That part, that's a word right there. That is a word right there. All right, Kesha, put us all back up real quick. Now we're gonna have a little roundtable discussion about financial literacy and all the fun. So, ladies, I got some questions. I know y'all got the answer. Whatever question I put out there, whoever wants to go first, go. All right. So I asked a question a minute ago for a reason. What is your relationship about money? And I'm dying to see the comments. I can't see them right now. But you guys have both kind of touched on it in regards to mindset. It starts there. And so I just thought that was just so good. I'm like, okay, we're in alignment here. Mm-hmm. So what are some practical tips that individuals can take today, yesterday, last week, I'm being funny now, last week, to improve their financial literacy? Go.
Well, first of all, I would say start paying attention to what you actually bring into your household. You know, pay attention, because so many people are just, you even ask them, what do they make? They're not quite sure, can quite give you that number, what they're bringing in. And then when you ask them, where is it going? Mm-hmm. That's where you completely get lost, not able to track where your dollar is going. So, one very practical way is, the very beginning of each month, understand how much is coming into your household and how much of it you want to go out, and designating where exactly you want that dollar to go. And then I want you to remember that you worked very hard to earn that dollar. So it's so important for us, when I say show up in your life, it's so important when you have been gifted, and it is a gift to have employment and to be productive and to work. But when you don't respect it, and then you don't show respect for yourself, then you get what you get. You get what you get, but you don't have to get what you get. You can be strategic with your own life. You can choose yourself. You can make plans, and you just don't know what's out there waiting for you, and all the blessings waiting for you just to show up and be disciplined in your own life.
Amen to that. That's good. That's so good.
I think that's great. What I would like to add to that is seek an expert. Seek an expert, seek a specialist. I believe everybody should have a financial dream team, and no one is the source of all knowledge. So no matter where you are in life, get super comfortable asking questions to an expert. One of my clients is a doctor, like medical doctor, as an OBGYN doctor. And she shared with me, Terry, insurance is confusing. Can you help me understand this? So even someone who is a medical doctor has things that she does not understand. So never feel like your questions are dumb questions, or these are things that you should know and feel too embarrassed to ask an expert. Ask an expert. No one is the source of all knowledge. I don't know everything. Like, I stay in my lane. If you want to know about cryptocurrency, talk to somebody else. But get you a financial expert in all the areas that you want to be financially astute in. Don't just listen to Uncle so-and-so and Auntie so-and-so, because they may have had money traumas that they never were delivered from. And so they're putting those things into the atmosphere, and they're speaking life into the things that you do not want in your financial life, and you're listening to them, and you're following their habits, and you're believing their disbeliefs instead of your own beliefs, because you did not seek advice and expertise from experts. So if you want to be financially literate, or more financially literate, ask questions, raise your hand, reach out to somebody, but don't think you have to know everything in order to be financially astute.
And don't be embarrassed and shy. You want to work on your finances. This might be the time. You're going to have to be a little vulnerable.
Yeah. Robbin, can I add one thing to that?
You can.
The only thing that was so good, Terry, I just want to add, stop blaming others for your current situation. Just stop it.
Because that was going to lead to my next question.
All right.
If you grew up in a home, for those that have grown up in a home where financial literacy was not taught, or for parents' generation, boomers, some boomers may not have had the financial literacy that is being taught today. They're learning it now to a retirement age. And so I was just going to say that I hear people say, well, my mom didn't teach me that.
Right.
Well, my dad didn't teach me how to save. That's why I'm in this predicament that I'm currently in, versus just taking that sole responsibility. Like, okay, I'm the reason I'm in this much debt.
That's right. And how long are we going to blame? How long are we going to blame our parents? And then I come across people who blame their parents, and their parents have passed on, and they're still blaming their parents. So, when are we going to break that? We have to understand that our parents did the best that they could with what they had to work with at that given time. But fast forward to today, I am responsible for me. You are responsible for you. So we can't sit and just blame what happened in the past to be the answer for today.
Absolutely.
You need to seek out and like Terry says, seek advice. Ask others. What did you do? How was it done in your household? And be a learner. Be a lifelong learner. That's how you grow.
So you can get out of it.
Break the cycle. Out of it. That's how you get this legacy going. You break that cycle.
Yes, and often I'll hear people say, "Oh, well, this wasn't taught in school, and this wasn't taught." Let me tell you something. It's being taught, though. It's being taught. I remember when I was in college, I was an undergraduate student. I can't remember, was it my junior or sophomore year, but I remember coming back from Christmas break, and I was in a classroom with people, and they were sharing. I went to a small Christian Catholic college for my undergraduate degree, but they were sharing what they experienced over Christmas break. And I'm excited and I'm happy about what I got for Christmas. And they were talking about shares that Auntie so-and-so gave them, and pieces of this company and this ownership. And I'm in the class like, what? Like what? And so we have to remember that the school system, and I'm not gonna go too deep with this, but the school system is not set up for us to win. It's not set up for us to win. So we have to stop saying, "Oh, I want more of this to be taught in school," and think that's going to be the ultimate solution. It is our responsibility to make sure that our children and our children's children are getting financial literacy at home, because they're only going to learn so much from a textbook. The school system has been created in order for our babies to be employees. And there's nothing wrong with having a job, but not to be owners and understand about having equity. Like, I have been in rooms with people who knew what I learned as an adult when they were little, when they were in elementary school. So again, we have to stop blaming people and saying, well, this wasn't taught in school, or my parents didn't teach me. Your parents didn't know what they didn't know. But now that you know, it's your responsibility to teach your babies. It's your responsibility to teach your nieces and your nephews and your little cousins if you don't have children. It's your responsibility to volunteer and go to these nonprofit organizations, go to these STEM camps, go to these schools, go to these Girl Scouts, go to these Boy Scouts, go to these vacation Bible schools, and you drop the nuggets that you know, because you already know everything in regards to financial literacy is not going to be taught in school. It's not.
And you can be the one that can be passing that good knowledge on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Kesha, you took my question. That was my next question. How can parents teach their kids about financial literacy? That was part of, you tapped into it as well, Terry. And then about saving, about credit, about things like that. You know, that was going to be my next question. Kesha, we thinking alike?
Yeah, I think that we teach by example, right? So if your home operates, you know, and lends itself to that lesson, your kids are watching and they're picking up. And as you are making financial decisions, have a discussion about that decision with your kids. Bring them in. And I noticed there was a question about credit and the kids. Okay, I want you to do a mindset shift on this. Don't focus so much on the credit piece. Focus more on building wealth. Because the credit, you got to get the debt in order to get the credit. That day will come. Focus on what it looks like to build wealth, what it looks like not to owe anybody. You know, so for me, it was very important for me to raise my kids, for them to be in a position where they can meet or exceed what my husband and I have been able to accomplish. So it was very important for me to raise the kids to be thinkers of their own. And I'm not necessarily saying they have to match our net worth, but they, with their own gifts and their talents, whatever they choose to do, that they do it to the best that they can do with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we don't focus on credit. My mindset is more on building wealth and the freedom that comes along with the wealth.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Especially with, you know, for me, again, having, I will have a high school. He graduates in 4 years. I don't want him to be scraping and struggling when it's time to go to college. I don't want him to go and get loans. I want to prepare him now and be prepared. Start now.
Yeah.
Because 4 years is going to be here in an instant. So getting that college fund for those, if you have children and don't have a college fund, this is your time to go ahead and do that.
Yes.
529 Coverdale, whatever it takes.
Because you'll be amazed in how many people I talk to 10, 15 years after college, the student loan debt is 100,000 plus. I mean, you will be amazed at how many stories are out there where the students have been saddled with this huge debt. So they're already behind the curve trying to catch up. Because they got it. How are you gonna, talk to the first guest? How do you factor that into purchasing a home?
Yeah. Because they count student loans.
Yes. Yeah, 160,000.
And I want to bring in another perspective, if I may.
You can.
I believe that you can have credit and use it to leverage your dreams and get to the next level. So what I believe in is being able to have great business credit and being able to have less personal debt. And so if you're interested, I saw somebody ask this question about adding kids to the credit. First of all, if you know that you do not have great spending habits and you're not disciplined, don't do that, because you will mess your baby's credit up and they will start with low credit because you messed them up. However, if you do want them to start building on something, and like Gwen said, start building wealth, teach them how to work, teach them how to build a business. Our children are so creative. They're so creative, and they can actually get business funding and start getting business credit and business grants that's going to propel them forward. So by the time that they do graduate, they may have another source of income and be able to work that business while go to school. For example, when I was a former principal, I was really big on entrepreneurship. As y'all can tell, I do believe that everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur, but I did want those children to understand, like, I want you to own something, okay? I want you to build something. I want you to own something. It's great that you want to be an athlete, but work on owning a team. But anyway, so long story short, last month I had an event, and the girl who did my hair was a former student. And that former student is graduating in a few weeks, and she's opening up her first salon. And she's 17 years old.
Work.
Okay. So if you go back and you see my pictures and you're like, oh my gosh, like your hair look good. Yes, that 17-year-old did that. And because she's ready to take her business to the next level, when she turns 18, she's able to get business credit. She's able to apply for grants and be able to use that to take her business to the next level. But she doesn't have a lot of personal debt. She doesn't have to have a lot of personal debt. So if you are wanting to make sure that your children are set up for great credit in the future, make sure that you're having the credit on the business side and not the personal side. We want to be debt free on the personal side. Amen. And then on the business side, we want to leverage OPM, which is other people's money.
And I need you to connect me with her, please, and thanks.
I surely will.
I would love to talk to her.
Lace by Lissa, shameless plug. Lace by Lissa. That's my girl. She was in the 6th grade when I was her principal.
We need to connect so we can make sure the business piece. She got the business piece on lock. Yes, for our salon owners, because I got my license at 16, almost 17. So I get it. And she's gonna need to know that, because beauty school ain't teaching that. That's a whole nother conversation. Anyway, all right. So, last question. Talk about the importance of building your retirement and estate planning. Mm-hmm. Go. You got a few minutes.
How much time do I have?
3 minutes. Go.
So first of all, let's define retirement. So the retirement is different for different people. Some people want to retire and only work for themselves. They don't have a 9-to-5. They don't have a boss. They're full-time in their business. They're full-time in their ministry. They're full-time in their mission. While other people are defining retirement as, I'm done. No more working for me. I just want to have a steady flow of income. That's it. Don't ask me to do anything. Get somebody else to do it. So whether your retirement is defined as you only working for yourself or you not working at all, you can do that if you plan ahead. You need to understand what your FIRE number is. What is going to be the number that's going to help you to be able to retire wealthy and be comfortable? Some people think that retirement has to be a certain age. It doesn't. You don't have to be 65 to retire or 70 to retire. You can retire as soon as you have the money to retire. But the earlier you start, the better it will be. I was showing a guy earlier today in $1 million baby plan, like I was telling y'all, in $1 million baby plan. If the parents do, and this wasn't for his baby, I was just showing him an example. But if the parents do $200 a month in that plan for 20 years and don't add anything else, by the time that baby retires or hits traditional retirement age, that baby is going to have over $272,000 a year in retirement income. Now I want you to think about this. Who do you know that's getting $272,000 in passive retirement income? Hear me out. The parents will only pay into this plan for 20 years, and that's it. And the money is just going to grow due to compound interest again and again and again and again and again. What is the secret to this? Starting early. Because I showed that same man who is 51 years old what $200 a month would do for him, and by the time he retired, it won't be $272,000. It's
No,
going to
not
be,
at all.
yeah, it's not going to be that. With the plan structured the same way, it's going to be $12,000 a year. Now, would you rather have 12 or would you rather have 272,000? So I wanted to give you all that as an example of why it's important that you start planning for retirement early, because the earlier you start, the less you have to save in order to get to that retirement nest egg number. And then lastly, on estate planning, make sure that, again, you have a financial dream team. Make sure that you have some estate planning attorneys around you. Make sure you have a trust. Make sure that your family gives you more life insurance than just enough to bury you. Because if you only have enough just to bury you, and
nothing else left,
and then your assets have to go to probate court, guess what? Your family is now not able to inherit all of the inheritance because you only had enough to bury them. You weren't planning for estate taxes. How long do I have, Robbin?
We done. We wrapping up now. We at the end of the show, child.
Over to Gwen. I can talk about this all day and all night.
I know you could. We should have did a part. Kesha said this one long enough. She said we should have did part 2. So let everybody know how you guys can be followed. Gwen, go.
Sure. You can check me out at my website, displaystrength.com. Follow me on Instagram at Gwen Burno. And come and visit my website and book a discovery session and let's talk about it. I just want you to take your life seriously, and we can create some plans and make sure that you're winning.
Thank you so much, Miss Gwen. Terry Alford, how can you be followed?
Oh, you can go to jointerry.com and you will see different ways for you to engage with me. I do have a group. It's called Business Women Building Wealth. And our first conference is going to be in October in Dallas. It's called the Attract Abundance Conference. And you can go to jointerry.com/conference to join the wait list so that you do not miss out on any of the good stuff that's going to happen at the conference. If you are interested in scheduling a retirement wealthy consultation, please reach out to me. Again, you can go to jointerry.com, scroll to the bottom of the screen, and you will see a calendar link where you can book a time for us to meet one-on-one, get into the numbers for real, and see the difference between where you are financially and where you want to be financially, and what do you need to do in order to retire wealthy. Thank you for this opportunity, Robbin.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies, so much for being here tonight, blessing us with the financial literacy and all the things. I know that everyone got some good tips and nuggets. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, audience, so much for tuning in to episode 66 of the Mamapreneur Podcast. And if you're in the Dallas area, May 4th, the Mamapreneur Wind Down Mixer, click Eventbrite link. Should have been posted earlier, so you can join us for some networking and all the things. See you all in 2 weeks. Have a blessed night.